Hey, people injured here, 1v1, outer reaches, blue side. We have LArks, as a Lord Commissar strong offense and support fights in melee combat begins with this refractor shield. And up against on the red side is Cudder, as a Kommando Nob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins range combat with a twin link shooter. There's that stun bomb, misses it, but now goes to town with his twin link shooter and takes out a guardsman immediately. Shot his face clean off. Now they have their sergeant up. Not really wanting to tangle with him though. Sentinel here to help out. Meanwhile, Orks spreading out on the eastern edge, and on this natural VP to cap, we have a natural VP for LArks towards the northwest and a contested VP all the way up in the northeast corner. Looks like the Lord Commissar is going to make his way over there perhaps. Kommando got himself suppressed, maybe he got too close to the base turret. And almost goes down. Gets pretty low but does get away. Double shooters are up, taking that corner wreck point over here. There's one northwest, one southeast. Still no natural victory point for LArks. Shooters on this contested, and Lord Commissar is not moving. There we go. Is he going to go up there? Nope, he's coming mid. There is a contested wreck and a contested power. Could make a difference if you're going to hold him for long enough. Is he going for it? There we go. Second guards on the squad are going for the natural victory point now, but look, at a double cap now. Cudder had a single for a while, was already bled off. Almost 50 VPs from LArks. Is going to get to 50 before the 1-to-1, the 2-to-1 comes in. There it is. Sentinel taking some shots, needs to keep backing away. I think shooters are chasing. Here comes the Lord Commissar. Getting stuck in, shield is up. The shield converting damage into losing energy instead of health until it goes down. Of course, also grants immunity to weapon knockback. Slugger's getting in on his guardsman. They do not want to be in melee with pretty much anything. Can maybe tangle with some stuff once they get the Commissar up, but otherwise not where they want to be. Lord Commissar did some work, but Sluggers see him off. And here's a heavy bolter. That should sort some stuff out. Suppressing those units as they get into the firing arc, doing a lot of damage to the Sluggers. Why are they still in this? Trying to get behind the shot blocker. Almost lost the squad. One model left. Big misplay from Cudder, I think. Should have just retreated those guys off. They're trying to get to that power. Did get there in the end. Stun bomb shuts up the heavy weapons squad momentarily. Trying to get into melee combat so they can't set up again, but it's getting way too deep into those Imperial Guard lines. Lord Commissar back on the prowl. No war gear yet for either hero. We do have looters though for the Orks. These guys have a death gun. Pretty awesome looking weapon. Suppression and big damage up close, much like the heavy bolter of the Imperial Guard. Catechins on the way now for LArks. These guys setting up to cover this approach. Guards run right into him here. Don't think they have vision, but now they will. There we go. Gonna take a lot of damage, instantly dropping a model. Sentinel doesn't really want to tangle with a setup team. Won't get suppressed, of course, but takes a lot of damage if he gets close. These guys capping. Steady opening for LArks. Kommando has been isolated a few times, but now might get some support. Does he have... Nope, no stick bombs, nothing. Sluggers, no burners. We do have big shooters and Nob leaders up for both of the shooter boys. There's a hell of a lot of Dakar. Going to try and focus down the Sentinel. Perhaps Kommando doing a good job and tying up the heavy weapons squad. Catechins will act as a detector to spot this guy when he's sneaking. Here they are. Getting stuck into some sluggers. These guys are pretty good in melee combat. Can also disrupt and support. Versatile little squad if you can use their abilities well. Not as easy as it sounds. Sentinel's going to go down here. Too much Dakar for the Sentinel. That's a big blow, I think, for LArks early on. Here comes the Commissar. Sprinting into action there. His melee charge kicking in. Doing some good damage in both melee and with that ranged sidearm. A lot of the melee heroes these days pretty damn dangerous with those sidearms, I believe. Ouch. The in 2.8, the Chaos Lord sidearm and I think the Brother Captain's sidearm are set to get a range reduction. It might be a damage reduction as well. I believe it's just a range reduction though. Quite a sizable one too. You can read the beta notes for 2.8 by the way over on dawnofwar.info forums. Check them out. These guys can't quite get shots on. There we go. Mistake from the guardsman. I should have gone the other way. Now they're right in front of the death gun, but it was disrupted by the catechins, and then catechins were in turn stunned by the commando. Good usage of abilities on both sides, but I still think the guardsman should have gone the other way. Catechins, I guess they would have disrupted and then closed for melee, but Commando had other ideas. He's starting to have a big influence on this game now, the Commando. Tying things up really well and aiming some pretty good stun bombs. Now Orks can cap. Tier 2 for LArks. Ogrins would be fun. Chimera always a good choice, of course. Tier 2 now for Cudder. A Weird Boy would be pretty devastating to this current Imperial Guard army. It's always a really nice choice against full infantry rosters. Shooter boys, are you leveling up, fellas? What are you doing? Nope, still level 1. All around. Commando is level 2, has peeled off a lot of those guardsmen. Catechins with their Sarge queued up gives them a melter gun. Commissar is level 2, no war gear. 312, 500. Maybe his power sword to disrupt with that lead by example would be good. Here's some Daka. And some suppression. Commando not really able to get in this time to tie up. Looks like he's trying something sneaky. Gonna be caught by catechins though. They're getting into melee combat with power melee weapons. They are a threat to low level heroes. Stun bomb thrown out. He's gonna try and retreat. Did get the stun on the catechins. And that saved it. Setting up again is the heavy bolter. Gonna make short work of those shooter boys. Catechins trying to get into melee combat as they retreat. Couldn't quite manage it. But now some disruption. Catechins ruling this engagement here. Made a massive difference to that fight. Can use them to try and nullify this commando since they can spot him at all times and tie him up in melee quite effectively. There's a shotgun blast for those sluggers. Took a lot of damage from the shotguns as they fell back too. There's the off-map basilisk flare from the Commissar, as you can see, reducing the range by 50% of those looters, and they're gonna go down, or are they? Catechins did not want to stay in that fight, and the looters live. That's a big deal. They were very, very low. Sluggers got their Nob leader up, and those Catechins did not want to stay and fight, and now they're in on the heavy weapon squad, and they're gonna tear it apart. Down it goes. LArks not reacting quickly enough to that threat. And some stick bombers in play. Say hello to their grenades, guardsmen. Lord Commissar's in there. Was that Inspired Terror? It was. Did he take out... No, he didn't take out the Slugger Nob with it. Did a big chunk of damage though. Really good to use against zone thropes if you can get close to them. Pretty much one-shots them, I think. Chimera on the way for LArks. Give something else for Cudder to have to deal with. He's going to have to get some anti-vehicle up. He could transition the looters into it with the beamy death gun. Would lose a lot of utility from the suppression though. Catechins being sneaky, they will infiltrate naturally if they are kept idle. That's a good stick bomb throw. Ouch. Just bits of guardsmen all over the place. Commissar gets in on some shooters. Catechins in a dicey position. These stick bombers can fight pretty well in melee. They are Orks after all. Some good melee skill too. Shooters almost wiped out. And now the Commissar's under threat. I feel like those shooters closing for melee kind of stopped the stick bombers from finishing them off there. Here's that Chimera. Support vehicle for Imperial Guard. Allows it to reinforce and transport infantry. They can also shoot out of it with these little turrets on top if they get inside. Not sure exactly how much damage they do, but they seem to pack a decent little punch. Sluggers happy to chase it down, are they? Oh look, we have a beamy death gun up. On these sneaky looters, they are able to infiltrate these fellas. Trying to set up so they can shoot at that Chimera, but they're struggling right now. Here we go, they might get a rear armor shot here. Nope. They were infiltrated, they did not fire. Uh-oh, Slugger's now in trouble. Catachans on retreat path. Couldn't quite finish him off. Seem to get in each other's way again there, the Commissar. And the Catachans, the Commissar has his Xenos Power Claw. Big chunk of heavy melee damage per swing. Also, stubbornness is up, going to allow him to get into combat a bit more effectively with that health regeneration. 171 to 500, 2-to-1 cap for the Orks. Haven't lost a single VP off their counter. Stun bombs flying in. It does stun vehicles, as you may have noticed there. It's a brief stun, but it's still pretty damn useful. Now just taking some pot shots. The beamy death gun again, not really able to get some shots on here. These big plants being line of sight blockers, I guess. Catachans are level 2. They've done pretty well so far in most fights. There's their grenade launcher doing its work. Now they don't really need to worry about the suppression of the looters. They don't need to worry about stick bombs though. Catachans do tend to bunch up into nice little neat groups ready to be grenaded in the face. 143 to 500 still. The 2-to-1 cap persists for Cudder. This fella needs to get on that VP. Here we go. Level 3. Going after it. First time I've seen him on that VP, I think. Lots of fierce fighting in the middle. Uh-oh. Shooter boys. 5 hit points. Oh, they get away again. Another very, very close escape for Cudder's Orks. Did drop the sluggers though, I guess. Not sure exactly where that happened. Was it when they were being chased off there? Maybe an old reliable finished them off. I wasn't paying attention. Guards went up to 12 models with their Commissar and these fellas. He's pretty good in combat. He's like 20 odd DPS, I think, in melee. 15 or so ranged. He can fight. Can also execute those fellas and stop them from running away, which is very handy tactically. Retreat back to where you have your Chimera and stop your retreat. Reinforce around it and you're ready to go. So Orks seen off for now. Big loss, those sluggers. Tier 3 though for Cudder. And has plenty of power. We could see a relatively quick tank here, maybe even a Nob squad. Here's a Stormtrooper squad for LArks. These guys can specialize anti-infantry or anti-vehicle with a kit. No sign of one yet. By default they have these hotshot las guns. Nice bursts of damage from long range to infantry. Can the beamy death gun get on the Chimera here? Where's that throw? Where's that stick bomb throw? There it is. Oh boy. Oh boy, bad day for those stormtroopers. They did not last very long. That was painful. Catachans were trying to come in to deal with those stick bombs. Couldn't quite get there in time. But that was like a full wipe from a single stick bomb throw, I think. I'm sure they took some damage before it landed. Commando was being sneaky. Here's some mines dropped by the Lord Commissar to defend the power here from the top. Looted tank on the way for Cudder. LArks goes tier 3. And the Commando is going to get on this VP. Look at the map though, turning very blue. Stormtrooper loss was painful, but not the end of the world. It's gone tier 3. Lehman Russes, Kassakin. Some good choices to come. Beamy Death Gun's going to set up here. But again, can't get a shot. Commando is persuaded to leave, but he did get a decap. So now we're at a 1-to-1 again. He has bled some VPs off. Cudder's counter, but he's got a long way to go. Like 350 VP difference here. Lord Commissar executing, or trying to execute, the shooter Nob leader, but he is a die last squad leader. So any damage done to him will filter down to the rest of the squad and they will drop models before him. Which is why they didn't outright kill him there. Must have killed one of the other fellas. Ouch. They get away. Stick bombers have done well. Can't believe they're not even level 2 yet. Needs to respond to the looted tank. Goes for a heavy weapons squad. Most likely with a las cannon, but we might see an auto cannon too. These fellas might have a look at the power. Stick bombers are on their tail. They could probably straight up engage them in melee and win that. With the Commissar there and getting shots as they close for melee. It's a dead commando. That must have been satisfying. Weird sync kill, but there it is. Commissar's trying to get on the looted tank. Wow, took a big shot to the face. Gonna go down if he's not careful. Looks like he has retreated in time. Did not have his shield up there. He had some energy. Could have maybe got another swing or two on the tank. Yeah, stick bombers are dealt with by the guardsmen up here, and they're going to retake this VP. Might need to have something permanently up here at this point, I think. It's pretty low on VP. Some commandos called in by Cudder. That's from his global bar. Very nice call in to have for the Kommando Nob. Really strong unit to be called in. Anywhere you have vision. Now they infiltrate and start decapping, and shooters will be on the VP. Commissar alongside Catechans and a heavy weapons squad with an auto cannon. That's what he's gone for. So good damage to all targets, whereas the las cannons are more specialized anti-vehicle weapon. Boom! Got us bunching up Catechans, taking big damage. Does it have reinforced plating? It does. Which means it can use that big boom shot disruptive thing. Commissar's getting in its face though. Doing some big damage here. Needs some support though. Chimera moving up. Auto cannon trying to set up. Gonna get some shots on something maybe. Looted tank lives. Beamy looters are gonna be tied up by these guardsmen. They could get a nasty bunch of grenades to the face, but those looters got pretty low there. Guardsmen doing some work in melee combat. Here we go. Auto cannon unable to peel a model off those commandos. I thought they were going to throw out their burner bomb, but these guys too low on energy to do so. They were infiltrated for too long, I think. 2-to-1 cap for Cudder. Commando Nob, well, the Nob leader for the commandos on the way. Cudder just dropped a unit though, I think. Oh, stick bombers chased into base. He must have forgotten about them. And they went down. And now a Lehman Russ. This is certainly not over, I don't think, for LArks. Can chase down this looted tank right here, right now. One more shot will do it. He needs to keep the tank moving, though. Oh, he made a mistake not keeping it moving. Can the Commissar get the last hit? Maybe. Stun bomb. Couldn't quite time it. Hard to do that. Does get rid of the Commissar and does not chase the tank in. Another lucky escape from Cudder. Misplay from LArks, I think. He should have got the tank moving earlier. Would have got the last hit, definitely. And finished off the looted tank. Catechin's on capping duty. Chimera's almost level 3. He's done some work killing some Orks. Lehman Russ with 1200 hit points, of course. Such a tough tank. Has some good upgrade options too. Auto cannon on capping duty. Why aren't you setting up? Mistake, I think. Cap with the guardsman. 52 to 415. 2-to-1 cap for LArks. Needs to hold on a hell of a long time though. Auto cannon will set up here. That's a painful place to stand for the shooters. Need to get out of it. Commissar was moving in too. Maybe some sneaky commando stuff up the eastern side to get on that VP and keep harassing it. But Catechins are hanging out there and they put an improvised explosive down. And now they're going to go after the wreck point. I haven't seen any power bashing from either player. Nobody really able to get the upper hand for long enough to get onto the power, I don't think. Another Lehman Russ on the way for LArks. That is a big deal. One Lehman Russ is tough enough to deal with in a 1v1 sometimes, with all the hit points they have and the repair support, of course. And now he's got 2 to deal with. But he's got a tool for it. It's the Kommando Nob's rocket launcher. Outstanding anti-vehicle weapon, and on a hero that can infiltrate, pretty damn effective. Catechins are not here to spot him either. Right in me crosshairs. Smack on some guardsmen. Poor bastards. Should have gone after the Lehman Russ though, I think. Could have infiltrated in behind the autocannon there. Got a rear armor hit or 2. Well, now that LArks for sure knows that he's got a rocket launcher, he can plan accordingly by bringing the Catechins down. Where are they? Oh, they're bashing power. Are they? I don't know what they're doing. Here's a double Lehman Russes though. Gonna need some more AV surely. Get some tank busters up or something. He's got tons of power. Here's some sluggers to repair the looted tank. They do have the rocket launcher from the Kommando Nob as well. And here's a beamy death gun. Is it going to be enough to fight 3 vehicles? It might be. Kommando Nob is there. Lost the indicator for him, but he's there. Some repairs. Might be a good place for a repair bunker around this area. Looks like a lot of fighting is going to take place here. Catechins still hanging out on that power. I believe they are bashing. Oh, Commando's dropping their Nob leader there. Got picked off. Looted tank being slightly aggressive. The Lehman Russes are low. Got a lot of repairing to do. Where's the other guardsmen? They are idle over here. Needs to start moving them up. Catechins also idle. It's got a lot of units to control, I guess, LArks. It's not easy. Nothing really to threaten those guys on retreat. They should be okay. There's that Inspire terror again. Uh-oh. Can he take out these looters? One more hit might do it. They live? No, they don't live. Autocannon, I think, finished them off. It might have been the sidearm of the Lord Commissar, though. 52 to 288. It's a double cap for LArks. Catechins on this VP, and they get it for a triple. But we do have... Oh, commandos aren't actually capping over here, fellas. There we go. They got it, boss. They got it. More commandos on the field for cudder. Level 4 commando. What do we have for the Lord Commissar? He is level 5. He's really come into the game since he got the Casino's power core up. Now LArks splitting his units pretty well between the 2 VPs he needs to look after. Sluggers trying to cap under fire. Can drop another model. Yes, they do. Down to a single boy. Are you going to actually cap this VP, fellas? It might be a good idea. Helps you win. There they go. There they go. The tank needs some repairs. Lehman Russ here sitting pretty. No sign of any bunkers anywhere. With an autocannon covering this approach. Might want to directly cover the Lehman Russ with it. Anything that shoots at the Lehman Russ gets shot by the autocannon kind of thing. Some mines drop. Those guys are capping. He's playing it quite well, LArks here, late game. Some sloppy losses for cudder. Those stick bombers getting into base. Not sure how the sluggers went down exactly. Guess just stayed in a fight too long and couldn't get away. Some lucky escapes though too, who have double knobs for the 2 commando squads. More threat for the Lehman Russ to deal with. What's going on over here? The Chimera's right in the edge of the map. Looks like it's off the map on the mini-map. LArks has tons of resources here. Doesn't have the population to get anything. Look at that. 97 pop. At least he's in a good position to replace anything instantly that he loses. Level 4 Catechins. Mines there being spotted by commandos who are also a detect unit, which is pretty handy. They can do a hell of a lot for you, these fellas. Can get a decap under infiltration and stay hidden. There will be a little brief blip when they start decapping, but then they will infiltrate again, as you see. Oh, not so infiltrated now. 52 to 202. Leman Russ gets a couple of shots, but needs to be careful. Autocannon, I think, needs to move. This is not the most useful place for it to be, I don't think. Leman Russ number 2 moving up. And be getting a bit too far up here. Look at that, it didn't take long and it lost almost half of its hit points. This is a real threat up here. All these rocket launchers and the looted tank. Catechins are mid, and I think he could use his sneakiness a little bit better up here. Nothing here to spot him. Oh, now Catechins are close enough to do so, I guess. 52 to 201, single cap for LArks. Nob squad on the way for cudder. That's going to allow him to be a lot more aggressive. Nobs can run in, draw a bunch of fire, and then follows up with rockets. Leman Russ under threat here. Look at the damage coming in from those rocket launchers. Uh-oh, switch targets. This one's pretty damn low, and it goes down. And a Chimera under threat. Catechins is disrupting when they can. And Leman Russ flanking. Down goes the Kommando Nob. Can they get rid of these fellas? Can you guys force melee combat? Love the Daka into a big boom shot there. Catechins in retreat. Can these guys force melee on the commandos? No. Let them through. They do take down the looted tank though. Maybe? Yes. Losses on both sides, but now we have a Nob squad. And on the way is a Bane Blade. Once he sees the Nobs, he should maybe rethink that. Bane Blade doesn't mix well with very dangerous heavy melee troops like these fellas. Elite melee squad can go toe to toe with anything in the game, but they are incredibly expensive if you fully upgrade them. Oh, that was Inspire Terror. They didn't like that. Don't think it inspired that much terror in them. More kind of annoyance. Mean It and Green are on the way. I did get a model off. Him. Level 4 Catechins will do some damage in melee combat to those fellas. They have power melee, of course. Nobs are heavy infantry. Bane Blade still on the way. He's still going for it. Guess he thinks he can protect those. He can protect it from the Nobs. Does have Catechins to knock them back. 2 ways to knock them back. Commissar can just get stuck in as well. Commandos on the way up. He did lose one of the commando squads as they were retreating there. 52 to 91 is pretty damn close. Nothing here to spot these guys. The Kommando Nob is also there. Gonna deal with this Chimera, I think. Oh, uses the flare to shut down the range, but they go into a rocks. Chimera does go down. Bane Blade on the field. Commissar getting stuck in. What level are you now? Level 6. Some good sneaky orky play, but he's lost a lot of stuff as cudder. A lot of stuff. Can the Nobs carry him through here? Bane Blade is not moving. Hide the boys used on the Nobs, but they're being spotted now by Catechins. That was weird. The Nobs seem to go flying over before these guys use their grenade launcher. Hits the Demolisher Cannon pretty well. but now needs to back away. GG, says Cudder. He just doesn't have enough left to contest the VPs. Down to 2 units. Nobs came out a little bit too late, but LArks, I thought, played it really well. Split his units intelligently and did his best to keep control on the various sneaky commandos all around. Used the Basilisk Flare pretty well there at the end, as we saw. Let's look at his heroes end of the game. Level 6 Commissar had actually the Fist of Brockus end of the game. Flat Jacket, Stubbornness, and a Commando doing nasty things with that rocket launcher. Got to level 5. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.